You wake up one morning about 4,000 years ago, somewhere along the Tigris River, and your head is pounding like someone is standing behind your skull with a hammer. You do not reach for water. You do not lie down in a dark room. Because in Mesopotamia, a headache was never just a headache. It was a demon sitting on top of your head, and it had a name. They called him Tiw. And Tiw was not some vague evil force. He was specific. He was believed to physically perch on the skull and squeeze, and the ancient healers who treated him were not what we would call doctors. They were exorcists, known as the Ashipu, and their entire job was part medicine, part warfare against invisible enemies. Here is where it gets strange. If you had a headache in ancient Babylon, you might see two very different kinds of healers, and both were treated with equal respect. There was the ASU, who worked with real physical remedies, herbs, oils, plant-based treatments rubbed into the scalp. And there was the Ashipu, who skipped the herbs entirely and went straight for the supernatural, reciting incantations meant to physically drag the demon out of your body. And people did not see one as more legitimate than the other. Ancient texts actually say, word for word, the treatment continued if neither medicine nor magic worked, which means a Babylonian physician might genuinely tell you, we tried the herbs, we tried the chant, let's try something else. So what did that something else look like? Sometimes it meant tying strange materials directly onto the head, objects believed to trap or repel the demon. Sometimes it meant reciting a specific incantation series, an entire 9-tablet collection whose sole purpose was fighting headache demons, treated with the same seriousness a modern hospital gives to a treatment protocol. But here is the part that should make you sit up. If none of that worked, they escalated, all the way to cutting a hole in your skull. Trepanation, the deliberate removal of a piece of bone from the head, giving the evil spirit, as they believed, a literal door to escape through. And the wildest fact of all, skulls from this era have been found with new bone growth around the hole, which means some people survived it, woke up, kept living, with a hole in their head on purpose, because a priest decided a demon needed an exit. Now here's the open question. Why would an entire civilization, one advanced enough to build irrigation systems and write the first laws in human history, look at a headache and blame a spirit instead of, say, dehydration or stress? The answer is almost more unsettling than the treatments themselves. To the Mesopotamians, illness was never random. It was never bad luck. It was believed to be a punishment, a consequence of something you did wrong, or something a demon decided to do to you personally. Which means every headache carried a moral weight. You were not just in pain. You were being told something by the universe itself. And that belief did not stay in Mesopotamia. Their headache demon Tiw, their exorcism rituals, their entire framework of illness as spiritual battle, it echoed forward into Egyptian medicine. And later, some scholars argue, it quietly shaped the earliest Greek attempts to classify headaches as a real medical category, centuries before anyone used the word migraine. So next time you reach for a painkiller and lie down for 20 minutes, remember, someone 4,000 years ago reached for a priest, a chant, and possibly a chisel. And they thought you were the strange one. If ancient people were willing to drill a hole in their own skull just to feel normal again, imagine what they did for something they were actually scared of. Follow along, because next time, we're going somewhere even stranger.